Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my Thursday live stream where we talk about photography and catch up on what's new and what I've been up to. Good to see everybody. I see Roberto's here, Plato's here, Music Sound Gear. Always good to see you. I know you have trouble getting in sometimes because you work, right? Like not like me, just starving photographer. David Crooks. Oh, good to see you. Um, and let's see, Peter Cardo. Wow. You come in time to time, but I don't think I've seen you in a while. Same thing with wow, Barry in Florida. Okay. I think I saw yeah, Titty Totter. Oh my goodness, it's been forever. My goodness, how are you? And Lauren, always good to see you. Um, you're not here really, huh? Okay. Oh, wow, it's been a crazy what is it? Well, March has just started, but February is pretty crazy with all of the announcements and couple new cameras, couple new lenses, and I guess rumors are flying about for some other stuff coming out with the other manufacturers. And I don't know why, but I'm a little bit exhausted. Plus, with the live guests I've been having, we did a lot of live streams. I was a guest on one live stream, and I've been bringing new guests, people that you may not be familiar with, and I'm going to be reaching out to more. So hopefully this year I'll have a lot of new live guests. Some you're familiar with, I'm sure. Others maybe not so much. Like this weekend, I have lined up another live guest. She's a relatively new photographer. I mean, so am I, honestly, right? I've only been shooting since 2013 or so, uh, which makes me like, an infant in this business, really. But she's been shooting about 6 years, so I will post that link up after the stream today after I talk to her one more time and confirm everything is still a go. So I have one this weekend, and I have another one about what is it, March? Yeah, about 2 or 3 more weeks from now. Another person that you may not have seen before or are familiar with as much. So because March, I believe, is Women's History Month, or I don't know. It's doesn't matter. I'm trying to feature more female photographers on the channel, for the sake of some diversity, because I've always had, you know, the familiar group here on YouTube, but we're all dudes, and I always thought it was interesting to see the perspectives from other photographers with different backgrounds, and hopefully you guys are finding that interesting. The feedback's been really good. Oh my God, Roberto, it's 2 a.m. over there. And it's raining. It's kind of nice though, 2 a.m. rain. I would think that would help you sleep. Oh, but I hate it when I fall asleep early, like around 6 or 7 in the evening, then wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh. I mean, I try to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. every day. Uh, just rule of thumb, so I can make it to the photo club without being, you know, tired. Because since I joined David Crooks's photo club, it was quite a transition. Let's try to get up and be somewhere by 7 a.m., if not sooner. And uh, but that said, let's see. Other things, people have been asking me if I got my camera yet, the OM1. I haven't got it yet. Supposedly it'll be in this Saturday, so a couple days. And I ordered it, so they're supposed to ship it to me. So it'll probably be Monday, Tuesday next week before I get it, unless they let me go pick it up at the store, which I'll call them on Saturday and ask. Uh, we'll see. Because when I pre-ordered it, they asked for my address. I put my address in and paid, pre-ordered it, but uh, I don't, I don't know. I'll call them Saturday if it's in. And I also put in a stock alert, so if it comes in today or tomorrow, I'll get notified hopefully on two fronts, the stock alert and the pre-order alert. Okay, let's see. Druid's here, Christina's here, um, Cliff Webb, John Yutze, Lysippus. Awesome. I'm glad to see everybody's here today. You guys are really the highlight of my day, and I always look forward to doing the streams. I was gonna try. I've been saying this every week for the last 2 months because I don't think I've had a live editing stream maybe early January or even December. But I do want to do some. The reason I postponed it the last couple of weeks was Workspace came out and had this AI noise reduction. So I was trying to get familiar with that, but also the I don't know, I had an update or something last week on Windows, and you know how Windows is. It updates almost every day, driver updates and all kinds of stuff. And Workspace just kept locking up on me. So I had to uninstall it, and it took a day or two before I could download it again. I don't know why the site was down, but I couldn't download Workspace. So I downloaded Workspace from the site because previously it updated through the application, so I didn't have a copy of the uh, Workspace on my computer, like a downloaded copy, but now I do. So, and I keep that in a folder with some other software that I always want to have if I ever have to reinstall it. But it's working great, and I've been watching, trying to catch up on some videos from my friends, you know, Maddie and Jimmy and Peter, Robin. So the big news, I guess, with Robin's channel is he's no longer a visionary, quote unquote, ambassador for OM Systems, which surprised me a little because I honestly I didn't know he was still a visionary or ambassador. I probably knew when he announced it, then forgot that he was, but that goes to show that he really wasn't getting any support because when you're watching a channel and have no idea if this guy's a visionary or not, uh, shows you that he's not getting support. So I understand his reasoning, but we're all here to support Robin and our favorite channels. So hopefully he's not hopefully, but I'm sure he's very happy with the decision he made. Because yeah, I don't understand why someone that really has put a lot of their adult life into a brand has has been just basically ghosted by the company. Uh, and and they have paperwork and contracts and everything, and he was ghosted. That's just that doesn't seem right. And I'm not sure what the reasoning was. I mean, I understand you want to kind of keep as a company, you don't want leaks and rumors to go out before launch. But when you have ambassadors out there ready to go and promote the brand, you'd think you'd reach out to all of them, as many as you can, especially someone like Robin who has the highest integrity. Uh, and so yeah, I was a little surprised by what he said in his video. Um, oh, George is asking. George always has questions in the streams, which is great. I'm sorry if I miss them sometimes, but I just caught this. Let me get this real quick. His own workspace only useful if one has a newer camera body. Uh, well, it's there's very specific camera bodies that it works for right now, and supposedly they're going to add more. But right now, it's like the OMD EM1 Mark II and Mark III, the EM5 Mark III, I believe the EM1X, and the OM1. So the noise reduction part, yeah, the AI noise reduction only worked for those cameras. So hopefully they'll add more cameras in the future. I'm not sure what the algorithm is that it requires very specific cameras. I assume it's because they're the AI noise reduction is modeled against very specific sensor and and uh, the sensor and the TruePic processor that it's using, because those are all TruePic 8, I believe, or TruePic 9, now TruePic X. So it's some combination of the circuit board and sensor that they're using that the AI is going to work with. So they'd have to just back up a little bit to the previous, they could do it. They could do it, and hopefully they will eventually. I think if they're seeing good momentum in their products and can reinvest the money that it's going to take to do those kinds of things, we'll see it. And I'm doing everything I can to support them. I primarily I shoot their cameras. I support their cameras with tutoring or and tutorials, and I only do that because I use it myself, right? So if there are, if I was using any brand, I would probably do the same thing. I'm really supporting you guys who want to use the brand and love the gear and stuff that they produce as much as I do. So that's why I do it, because I want everybody to get the most they can out of their camera. So my tutorials typically are geared towards showing you how to use the camera, maybe some settings you might have missed, or step by step process to get through certain things. I I have the occasional tips and tricks type video, but those tips and tricks to me should be more photography related. Gear wise, you really have to, you know, uh, the tips and tricks you should be able to apply to any kind of camera, right? In photography, and there may be some unique things to Olympus, but those thank God there's Jimmy and Robin and Peter. They can all take care of those things for me, right? It takes a little load off me mentally. Not that it's hard to make a video. I mean, it is and it isn't, but it mentally, I feel like uh, I want to do a service for you guys to learn the camera, and when they do a video on a particular topic that I was thinking about, I'm like, oh, good. Now I don't have to make it. I mean, sometimes I still want to make one because I may have a little different spin on the same idea. As I always say, we all have our own voice and way of communicating, and you guys communicate or connect with us in different ways. And sometimes the way I explain it makes more sense, and sometimes the way Peter or Robin or Jimmy explains it makes more sense. So it's all a matter of our individual learning uh, capacity, not capacity, but style, I guess. And really the best learning style, it's a combination of, lecture, talking about it, visual, showing you visually how it's done, and also having, and this is a little harder on YouTube, but also having a document or something you can read and have on hand. So with that said, I've been thinking about publishing something as well, although I'm a horrible writer. Well, I'm not a bad writer. I'm actually pretty good, but my problem is I'm just lazy. It's like that's why I never got into writing scripts and things for my videos, because God, by the time I finish writing the script, I'm like, man, I could have just made the video. Uh, let's see what else is going on. Yeah, I was talking about Robin. So basically, it didn't matter if he was a visionary or not for us, right? As viewers and fans of Robin's channel, we're gonna watch him no matter what he does. Very similar to like James Pops's, he switched from Panasonic Lumix to Sony, and he still has a great following and people still love to watch his channels like I do. I watch him time to time. It doesn't matter what gear he's using to me, because I'm not watching it for the gear, I'm watching it for him, right? Just and same thing goes for Robin is we don't watch it so much for the gear, we do because we share the same gear and equipment, but we watch it mostly because it's Robin, right? Roberto says you're never leaving Olympus. Um, Roberta, I was thinking I should have you on as a guest one day because you have a great vlogging channel, you know. I don't think you get as much attention as you deserve. Oh, this is interesting, David. I watched Jimmy Chang's ISO comparison this morning, and it's very hard to tell, especially with my dying eyes, but it's hard to tell on YouTube the difference between the two cameras. Hopefully, I was watching on my TV, so I couldn't see any of the comments or descriptions or anything. But if he provided some links to some raw images that he used, that would be helpful. Because that's what I did on my OM workspace videos. I provided links not to the raw images, but to full res images in the JPEGs that you could look at, and then you can look at them for yourself, pixel peep them for yourself, and see the difference that the AI noise software did. But what was interesting is he said the AI noise software is built into the JPEGs on the OM1. When I get my camera in, I'm going to try and confirm that. I mean, it's not that I don't believe him, but I would be surprised if it was included in the camera to do AI noise reduction to the JPEGs. So I can test for that when I get it. Because really, all you have to do is instead of using your PC to edit the photos, plug in your camera and use the camera USB processing. And if that feature is in the USB processing module, then and you see the AI noise reduction through the USB processing, then it's definitely built into the camera. So I'm gonna try that. I suppose I could look at the user's manual, but you know how users manuals are. They're pretty much just they're not very good, right? They tell you everything and then they tell you nothing at the same time. Uh and Christine says, I'm writing what is still lacking is a guide for Olympus cameras along the lines of what Tom Hogan did for Nikon. Very in depth, lots of tricks not out of the manual. Yeah. I thought there was somebody though in the OMD education group on Facebook. There's somebody there that is always not a well, it's been a while since I've really dug through that group, but it's Adam Favre over there is a moderator, if not the creator of that group. But there's somebody there learning your Olympus, or there's some guy that publishes a book on every Olympus and every camera probably. Learning, I think it's called Learning Your Olympus or something. But he's gotten good feedback on that. I've seen a lot of good feedback on that book. But again, something is uh if I made a book, it would definitely be very different, I think, than what's mostly out there already. That's an interesting way to put it. He's Robin's the attraction, and Olympus is simply the road we needed to find him. Yeah. And let's see, Roberto said something here. These chats roll up so fast. Bertos is happy to do it. Just watched your how to stream video from last year. Oh, really? I still pretty much do the same thing, except I have a little bit newer gear. I used to use this, well, it's going on eBay soon, but I used to have this video switcher. I have a new one now, thanks to Feel World. Like I said, sometimes you get some perks with these having a channel. No, it wasn't Dax Smith. It was whoever it was had a more conventional name. Dax being unconventional. I think of Star Trek, right? Deep Space Nine, Dax. And I loved her. I don't know what her real name is. I loved her on Becker. That's another great show. Definitely underrated. Oh, that's the one. Thank you. Thank you, David. Mastering Your Olympus. Let me see. This is David Crooks just published a link there. I'll just put it up on the screen here. This guy. What's his name? Daryl Young. There we go. Yeah, a little more by conventional meaning, a name I'm more familiar with, right? Daryl and Young, I'm very familiar. $31, Mastering Your Olympus, and he's got 4.7 stars. So this seems to do he's getting good reviews online. Ah, he looks familiar. Well, probably because I've looked at his books before. Let's see, chapter 1, how to use this book. Oh, now that's basic. I guess that makes sense, right? How to use the book so you can approach his style of teaching. I'll have to review his method here and see if I can adapt or structure mine in a similar way. But yeah, this looks really good, so check it out. Terry Farrell, thank you. Thank you. Terry Farrell was Dax. She was a model before too, right? Yeah, definitely out of my league, but she was terrific on Becker. It's a shame that she left Deep Space Nine. Anyway, uh Roberta, you love Becker too? That's funny. Christine M says also Tony Phillips, but still I got much more out of Tom Hogan's books. Okay. And Tony Northup did a good tutorial of the M1 in the early days. Yep. I think I watched it. Like, oh, I just remember on the thumbnail it said assigning the switch or something. Um, yeah, I don't know if he's done any recently though. And Fro still does them time to time, like in-depth menu settings. And Tony's got quite a few. I'm familiar with the Olympus ones. I don't know, but I'm sure he has ones for other cameras. How would I make the layout? I don't know. I'm gonna look into it. What got me kind of interested? I mean, I know I've been asked to do it many times, but I never thought about it uh, as much as I have lately. But what got me kind of interested in making a book was maybe the I was thinking about making a photo book because I don't know. I was like, I'd like to have a little book, coffee table book for myself of my own pictures. I mean, I keep them in this 3-ring binder, which is oh, why do I have this screen up here? This one. There we go. I keep them in this 3-ring binder. Some of my favorite photos that most of these are when I went out on my photo walks with David's photo club. Like this was, we need to do this again, David. We need to go out and take pictures of these planes. Um, but yeah, this is how I do it. But this just feels. I mean, I like it, but it just feels kind of. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but it just feels very like it's a work in progress. It doesn't feel like a finished. Even though these photos are done, I'm not going to edit them anymore. It doesn't feel like a finished product to me. I'd like to have like a finished, polished book put together and organized, maybe with some notes. Very few, if any. It'd just be a photo book and something I can just keep on my table and just enjoy. Because when I keep them in the binder in that, I look at them and it just feels very, like I said, unfinished. It just feels like it's a work in progress. It doesn't feel like I'm done. So I'd like to have a feeling of closure with the images and maybe give them out to friends and family and stuff if anybody cares. I don't know if anybody cares about my photography. Not my photography is not all that. My photography is okay. It's nothing epic or there's no home runs there. Like, man, this is the one that you're gonna print and hang on your wall. They're just interesting to me because I know what I did to go take that picture. And if I had any problems taking it or challenges, or if I learned something new about the camera or was surprised by the camera, just a lot of very personal things that I would put in my book and then the picture next to it so that when I go back and look at them, because I have this montage image, where it's what do you call I need to keep my brain sharp. I don't know why I'm not sharp today. Basically, it's a collage, right? And composite of a bunch of different images when I used to go hiking and camping a lot. And it was only 6, 7 years ago when I used to do that a lot. I mean, I'd go almost every weekend out camping, pitch a tent, light a fire, campfire. And I haven't done that since I got my new dog, but uh, that collage has a lot of meaning in it for me. But anyway, that collage, I feel a little bit of closure because I printed it on a 13 by 19 and it's hanging up over my wall, over my sofa in my living room. Hi, hey Ben, how you doing? Uh, Thinking about the OM1. Yeah, I'm excited to get it, but I'm not like anxious, right? Like, it'd be nice to have it right now, but it's okay if it comes next week because right now the EM1 Mark III, I had a couple of photo jobs this week. Thank goodness, man. I needed some money. Let me tell you, the price of the price of heating oil is almost $5 a gallon right now, and I burned through easily. And this is keeping my house at like 55 degrees. I burn through like 100 gallons a month, and that's just it's just crazy. I mean, the price has more than doubled since last year. But anyway, yeah, if it comes next week, because the EM1 Mark III, and I rarely shoot, unless I do street photography and stuff, I rarely shoot high ISO. I'm at like ISO, between 200 and 3200 typically, sometimes 64 if it starts to get dark. But most of the time I'm like in that middle ground where just a little bit of cleanup and no post and it looks fine. And so the, but what I do wanna do, what I'm really excited about when I get the OM1 is the new autofocus. I'm really excited about that. The two-stop noise reduction or 2 stops, better noise performance is nice to have, uh, but I already have that kind of in my Panasonic S5, right? I got at least 2 stops, good better noise performance, but I never shoot with it because it's my video camera. But hopefully the OM1, I'm gonna try and see if I can get that to be my new video camera as well and replace my Panasonic S5. So I'm gonna do some testing. So the EM, but I'm selling my EM1 Mark III. So if anybody's interested in anything that I have, because I need to sell a lot of stuff that needs to be to pay for this OM1. I sold my EM1 Mark II last week. Thank you, Mike. Hope you're enjoying it. I know you've only had it a couple of days, but I sold that and I'm going to sell the EM1 Mark III. And there's some cameras that I'll never sell, like my Pen F, but I might end up selling my Panasonic S5, which has hardly been used. I mean, I doubt there's 1,000 clicks on it and maybe 20 hours, 30 hours of video on it, but shutter count wise, it's virtually new. I'll be selling that with the lens and maybe my Panasonic GX85 because I never use it. I mean, it's a fine camera, but I'll see. Um, but a lot of you guys know the cameras that I have. If you're interested in anything I have, let me know. I'll sell it to you. I'm going to sell my Panasonic 7 to 14 millimeter lens. Um, 'Cause, man, I did a photo job yesterday, and then it was just a bad day for that lens. I was getting purple flaring, flare spots. It was just, ugh, it really ruined a couple of shots that I probably wouldn't have used anyway, but I had to do so much fixing in post to get rid of those spots. It was it was brutal. So I got to get an 8 to 25, but I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. At least $100 off. But I'd like to see 200 bucks off. Then I can sell my Panasonic lens for whatever the market is on that and apply that to the 8 to 25, and then I won't have to worry about this purple flaring crap. Man, that was so frustrating. It just adds, like I can process a picture in about 2 minutes, right? For a lot of the stuff. Some take a little longer, but let's say 2 minutes per shot, and I do 30, 20 to 30 shots. So it takes me about an hour to process the photos from a job. When I have to deal with purple flaring on top of that, add about 30 minutes to post processing. Uh, that, and that's what happened to me. I spent almost 2 hours editing 20 photos. Totally unnecessary. It was just, yeah, they haven't updated that yet. Well, they got the 8 to 18, right? Um, which I would consider, but it's kind of a bulky lens. I'd rather get the 9 to 18 from Olympus. Little compact lens. That's the other thing. I'm thinking that will get me by probably just as well as the 8 to 25. But if I get the 8 to 25, I can use that more because it has a better range up to 25 millimeters. So I can use that as a normal 50 millimeter equivalent, whereas the 9 to 18 only takes you up to what, 36? And as much as I like a 36 millimeter focal length, I'm starting to like the 50 a little more now. The 25 millimeter micro four thirds lens. I'm starting to like that focal length, and 8 to 25 will get me there at f4. And It's just, oh, it's just like it's 1,000 or $1,100 for that lens, and if I think about if I can save about 30 minutes of post-processing with that lens, you know, it would take a lot of jobs. I don't get paid much per job. Commercial photography in this area, it's very competitive, so we don't get I don't make a lot per job. But Tuesday's job was pretty good. I actually finished that up pretty quickly. It was like 30 minutes on site and about 30 minutes to post process, and I was done. Yesterday's job was about 45 minutes on site and almost 2 hours of post processing because of the purple flaring. Hi, Rob. The Olympus Pro Advantage program should be available at the end of the month, according. Oh, okay, good. Somebody was at that was probably you, but somebody was asking me about that maybe last week. That's cool. Yeah, there have been minor updates, cosmetic mostly. Well, I think the 25 1.4 was actually a they did make some improvements. I thought it was a different optical design. But man, that's like a $500 or $600 lens, right? I'm happy. Well, so is the Olympus one, the 25 1.8. It's not cheap either. That's, I like that's good enough, that lens. I don't need 1.4 versus 1.8. I'm usually shooting at like f4 anyway. Uh, what else? I killed a roll of film somehow this week too. I scanned it and it's just totally, you can see, right? It's totally clear. I can see the film markers, right? Like this is Kodak 400, but I can't this the Tri-X. Oh, I don't know what happened, why everything is underexposed. I mean, I can almost, and I know that it's not because I put the fixer in first or anything stupid, but I did something wrong. But I can tell because I can see little lines in between every now and then that shows me the frames. So it did advance the film and take the pictures, but I don't know why everything came out. That's the first time that's happened to me. Maybe the battery and the meter's weak. This was shot with my Pen F, my film Pen F. Yeah, that's true, but they know. I've known them for many years, and a lot of times they're on site, so they stay there with me until I'm done. Anyway, and then I tell them it takes another couple hours, and if there's video, another 3 hours. Uh, but yeah, in my case, a lot of times, I would say it's about 80% of the time the client is with me on site, so they know how long it takes. And you know, so he's been on enough jobs with me. He knows how long it takes. Like the one I did a couple of days ago was 30 minutes on site. He wasn't there, but he knows me. He was there yesterday. A different client was there yesterday. They meet me at the site to let me in, and they introduce me to the owners if it's occupied, and and then they stay there until I'm done. A lot of times, but generally that's good advice. But they know they respect what I do and how much work it takes to this particular client does know and does respect what I do. Any news from the Hassie? Yeah. I did develop a role. I mean, that was a month ago. Well, now 2 months. It was in January. I developed that role from January, and they came out fantastic. They're on my Flickr page, so you'll see them there, and they're black and whites in the snow. And you may have seen my vlog, right, where I pulled the Hassie out. So the images from that vlog are on my Flickr page now, and I just put another roll of 400 Tri-X in there. But I need to find a place worthy of the Hassie to take it to, and take pictures. So I tried to go with David this week, David Tellett, out to historic Occoquan to do some shooting. But then I had these photo jobs come up and I just couldn't go. And then today, I have the stream, and tomorrow it's gonna be freaking cold today and tomorrow, so forget it. I'm not going out. And then Saturday, maybe Saturday I'll take it out. I forget where we're going. I think we're going uh I don't know, the Nabisco Creek Pier Boardwalk something with the photo club. That's not really Hassie worthy either. That place is more of a I'm gonna bring my 300 millimeter lens. The 300 millimeter lens, that was I have the 75 to 300 and I'm getting better with it. I'm very conscious of when I'm using it and when I'm taking pictures of. Because like I said, 90% of doing bird photography is all skill. And as I'm improving my skill set doing birding, I'm getting better images with that lens. I was having a hard time. I was thinking I'd get this lens and poof, magic. I got these great shots of birds. But it's not like that. You have to really know your camera and gear and have a skill set for taking pictures of birds. And it's very hard to put my finger on what it is, but I'm very conscious of my shutter speed and focal length and aperture that I'm using. I'm very conscious of, how fast the bird is moving or flying, what direction they're going in, and my posture, tucking my elbows in and being very steady. Because ibis or not, if you want sharper photos, you need to be rock steady uh, when you're doing bird photography. It's even when you're panning, you have to be kind of very conscious, loose but stiff at the same time, you know? So I'm developing these skills and getting better shots, and I'm getting better at tracking them at 300 millimeters. I can show you one. See, where's my Flickr page? Uh, yeah, here's one. I mean, and this is like a 1 megapixel image, but this eagle was way up in the tree, and he's probably only about 5% of the frame. So let's see what the crop was. This is yeah, 1 by 1, 1145 by 1145. So that's one time, yeah. It's barely a 1 megapixel image from the crop. So yeah, about 5% of the frame. I thought this came out really good. And there's still pretty good detail. There's a lot of post-processing here with DxO and all of that. And I think the EXIF is here. Yeah, ISO 640, f8, 1/250th. And I was very conscious of my thing. Uh, very conscious of everything. And then I got this one. This one is 30, so 3 by 3. This is about 6 megapixel image. So this bird is about 12% of the frame. So there's a lot of cropping, but look at the detail I got. I mean, that's pretty good for the 75 to 300. And I'm zoomed all the way out to 300 millimeters, the softest point of this lens. Now my aperture, I was off slightly. I must have bumped the aperture dial. And I'm at ISO 1250. I mean, I'm not at a slow ISO, but I set it to see my shutter speed's 1/800th. I was very conscious of my shutter speed and aperture. I missed, after I say that, I see my aperture is 7.1. And let's see, how do I get out of here? Look at this one. This one has got to be a low ISO. This one is f9. So between f8 and f9 is really a good point for this lens. And I didn't zoom all the way in. I backed off a little. And the bird is not moving very fast, so I lowered my shutter speed. That other bird, the reason I was at 1/800th, because it was in a tree, not really moving. But tiny birds, they twitch and stuff like that, right? So that's why I set the shutter speed higher. Look at the detail on this guy. I mean, it's pretty freaking amazing. It just really, it doesn't get, oh, there's a little motion blur down here. See what I mean? At one, two, the leg is moving. So I'm glad I pulled this up because now I know I need to use a faster shutter speed next time. 1/250, it ain't gonna cut it for this, even a simple shot like that because his feet are moving. This one was cropped in. This is about 10 megapixels, so he was about 50% of the frame. Uh, but yeah, when you go to my Flickr, I always try to make sure the EXIF data is there, and then the way you can check the crop is just look at the original size, multiply it out, and you can see versus a 20 megapixel sensor, right? As the camera is here, you know it's a 20 megapixel. And this is the M1 Mark II. Okay, this is an old camera. Let's see. Those are my ISO tests that I talked about. So you can punch in and pixel peep these uh, and compare, the noise reduction, that video I did. But where are my Hasselblad pictures? They are, I think these are the Hassie. Yeah, these are the Hasselblads. Um, on Kodak 400, Tri-X 400. I got a little bit of a light leak here I need to fix. The seals are, I need to fix some seals. But let me punch in. But yeah, these came out really nice. Oh, my fingerprint over here. So if you want to see my Hasselblad pictures, you can kind of go there and check them out. Uh, oh my goodness, Robin is here. Hey, Robin, how are you? Let me scroll up. When did you come in? My goodness. I've been kind of jibber jabbering for a while here. Oh, you've been here, oh, at least 10 minutes. Okay, that's cool. All right, let me back up a little bit. Do I ever use Keystone compensation? Uh, I don't use those to deliver to the client, but I do check the composition using Keystone and comp in the camera. So for example, let me show you a shot I did yesterday. Uh, this shot here, I had to point the camera up because I couldn't back up because the sun was so strong. Oh my God, it was just unbelievable. But what I did was I checked the composition using the Keystone compensation in camera. Then I turned it off and then took a regular raw image because I know I can do the correction in post-processing. So this image here, if I turn off this is the actual image, right? And then in the camera, I adjusted the Keystone composition to see what it would look like when I correct it in post-processing. I can't do it too much because my angle was really I was probably like at 45 degrees. Uh, but you can see if you do keystoning compensation, the building can look weird because keystoning is nice when it's very subtle. But if I did a full-on keystone compensation, you can see the top of the building's way too big. So I have to do additional things, deformation. Uh, Let me see, horizontal. I don't want horizontal, I want vertical. But anyway, that's how I use keystone in compensation. Is I just check it in camera to make sure that I left enough room around the subject, in this case the building, so that when I go into post processing and I do the compensation in post, uh, I know that I know it'll work because I checked it in camera first. Because with keystoning, if you don't leave enough room at the top, you can see how you lose a lot of room up here at the top with keystone compensation. So you have to be very, very conscious of how much room you leave around the subject so that when you do need to do keystoning, you can do it. Because otherwise, I would have cut off the top of the building if I didn't check it first. 'Cause let me back all. See how much room I left around the subject? Because I knew I was going to have to keystone it, but I double checked it with the tool. And then this is a full-on keystone correction, but I think I ended up delivering this. This looks a little more natural, even though it's not perfectly level. Wow, it's midnight where you are, huh, Robin? Um, Man, I can't believe I didn't see you come in. Let me catch up on some of the chat here. Oh, thanks, very kind words. I look back at what you mentioned earlier. Oh, sure, Robin, no problem. Robin, you're the best. You're like the happiest photographer on earth, if not the happiest person I've ever met. And people just sometimes the good things or bad things should not happen to good people, but it happens, right? As we're seeing around the world even now, uh, at some extremes. So I guess at least we're not in that situation, or at least I'm not. But and I was out with someone else yesterday, and they're just there's just some people that I have the utmost respect for, and when something bad happens to them that has nothing they did, no action they took caused this, and something happens to them, it's frustrating, but who says life is fair, right? It's not what happens to you, it's how you react. So that's the way I look at it is, you have to sometimes you can prepare for certain things, sometimes you cannot, but it all matters on how you react. Yeah, you found it very difficult. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but I'm getting better results as I improve my skill set. And once I get a pretty high level skill set, or at least if I've hit my personal limit in what I can do at 300 millimeters, I might get the 300 millimeter f4 prime. I might. That's another big, huge purchase. I'm gonna have to sell off some other gear. I don't know what I'm gonna sell though. Not that I'm bare bones, not by any means, but I just hate letting go of stuff. Ah, sorry. Oh, thank you, Ben. Chickadee. Yeah, that came out pretty good. I don't know why I'm still on this window. Sorry about that. Not that people want to see my face either, but nobody wants to look at a brick building, right? Yeah. Everybody, Robin's channel is one of the best. I just wanted to share this comment. It's true. He has the best channel. Here's a question. Has anyone tried high-res shot mode with kit zoom? Yes. Does the lens have enough IQ to make that work? I have tried it. Uh, and the images are better, but you have to stop the lens down really to like f8 to get any decent image quality. Below that, it's slightly better, but you lose a little bit of contrast when you open the lens up, the aperture. The Panasonic 12 to 32 is better and sharper. And the reason I say that is because, and the reason I know that is because when I want to test the lens sharpness, I shoot in super high res mode, and then I compare the images. Because at 20 megapixels, both lenses might be able to resolve 20 megapixels, right? And you'd have to pixel peep all day long to see the difference. But when you shoot in high res shot mode, uh, in a studio situation like I did, just my kitchen, my dining room table, the 12 to 32 Panasonic was sharper than the Olympus version. And like I said, you had to pixel peep to see it, but that's how I know the 12 to 32 is sharper. And when I'm shooting with that lens in general, I do get the feeling the contrast is a little better. And that contrast is basically sharpness because it is a little bit sharper across the board at whatever megapixel you're shooting at. So, and I compared the 14 to 42 in high res shot versus the 12 to 40 Pro high res shot. And yeah, the gap was pretty significant there. So, yeah, I would say it's not worth it to shoot high res shot mode with a kit lens, although you do get better results. I wouldn't make it a habit. If you have a good lens and you have the right subject, yeah, certainly use high res shot mode. And I'm starting to use it more. I'm definitely going to use it on the OM1. Oh, that's good. So if you're in the UK, there's a good deal on the 60 millimeter macro. And then Robin just made a video on macro. So if you get that lens, go watch that video. You think we'll see a photocentric M43 camera? I hope so. I hope so because uh there's some features missing, right? The 6K photo mode and live comp, and there's a few features missing that they had in the G9 that they did not put in the GH6. So maybe the G9 Mark II, whatever they're going to call it, will have all of these photocentric features and more built in. And maybe even 25 megapixels with a higher continuous autofocus. Who knows? It'll be stiff competition for the OM1, I'm sure. Uh, so I can only hope they make one because I think there's a lot of Panasonic users, Micro Four Thirds shooters that like the Panasonic bodies, right? They're a little bulkier, but some people like that. They like a little bigger camera. They like the top plate LCD, which I like. And it would be nice that they could provide for that that group, right? But we'll see. Uh, oh, you're gonna borrow a lens? I know Ben is like next door to the Olympus or OM headquarters. Not next door, but very close. Closer than I am. and he made some contacts there. Uh, I forget what lens, the 300 f4? I don't know. I forget what lens we were talking about now. Oh, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Robin. I did hit 30,000. But honestly, how many people are here now? 50 people, I guess. I don't know. My real subscribers is probably the 30,000. I don't know. It's probably like 28,000 of just like spam bots and things, and then maybe a couple thousand people actually subscribed, and then there's only about 100 people that might actually watch my channel. Um, but when people subscribe, that's really the only collateral we have as YouTubers is our subscriber count. Because a lot of companies, they could care less about our photography, they could care less about our personality, the quality of our videos. They don't care. All they care about are the metrics. Man, if I got, 100,000 subscribers and I'm getting 40 to 100,000 views per video, long as I'm not doing anything, obscene or offensive, right? They would still they will reach out and send me gear and things to review and sponsor me, whatever, right? They could care less about the content of the channel other than it being uh semi-related to their product and non-offensive, right? So if you guys haven't subscribed and you're watching, just subscribe, right? It's free and it does help me in the long run, not immediately. It's not like, I'm going to make any money if you subscribe, but long term, if I have a good subscriber base, uh, it does give me a few perks that I can share. Oh, 77 watching. I can't see how many people are watching unless I go into you. I'm just using my app, which used to tell me how many people are on, but right now it says zero. Uh, oh, Caitlin's here. Good to see you, Robin. That's true. And that's what makes my channel so difficult sometimes because I know a lot of you guys have decades of experience and are extremely talented, and many are also very accomplished in the photography and video industry. And it's very flattering when you guys watch my channel or my content and give me a compliment. It so it makes a little harder for me to I don't know to create a video that would meet the kind of quality or standards that you guys can do on your own. Uh, but yeah, definitely I agree, Robin. There's our viewers are the best, and it's it's amazing that, I see a lot of viewers and I'm like, man, if you guys made a video or started a channel on YouTube, you would be great. So I encourage everyone here, if that has any experience or accomplishments, if you want to share your knowledge and experience, and it doesn't have to be about gear or anything, start a channel and just share. It's not hard, right? You can use your cell phone if you want. But I get it. A lot of people don't, not interested in that, right? You don't want to be on YouTube or have your show your face. Oh, Rick is in. Hey, Rick. Appreciate it. I got your email this morning. I appreciate that. Um, and I got your email, Lauren, and also from Demorkin. You're in trouble for the obscene and offensive for sure. That's right. Hi, Adam. How are you? HKM, my goodness. Just jumped to 81 watching. Wow. 82. So I have 81, 82 real people that watch my channel. And then maybe another 100 or so that watch you know, my videos and tutorials. You're watching from work? Not a big social media person. No one wants to see me. I would I don't know, why not? Actually, on my streams, if you guys look in the description, you can join anytime if you want to be a guest on the stream. I've been publishing that link. The last couple of videos are live streams down below. So if you want to join in, just click that link and I can add you in if you want. I keep forgetting to mention that uh, at the beginning of the stream. I actually have a link down below if you guys want to join in. No, I won't say anything. With big muscles. I know, Robin, you look like you're getting a little buff there. I don't know if you're working out or if you're just wearing a tighter t-shirt, but yeah, you're always looking good in your videos. Not like me. I got like noodle arms and legs and a pot belly and chicken legs. I'm just, I'm a mess. If you ever see me on the beach, but I'm old now, so it doesn't matter. These camera companies spend money on R&D. Well, yeah, but I feel like they have to, you know. They have to be bleeding edge across the board. Because look what happened to the Nikon DF many years ago. And that camera's been out 10, 11 years, but 10, 11 years ago, whenever it came out, people were bitching about it not having video capability, at least on YouTube. For me personally, yeah, I could care less that it doesn't have video. I'm using it as a camera, and that's what Nikon intended it to be. But yeah, I remember the reviews on that. People were knocking it pretty hard, and that was like at least 10 years ago. So unfortunately, it's going to be hard to find a camera that doesn't do video and doesn't try to do it well. Oh, wow. They're going to have the camera in tomorrow. That's cool. Yeah, my camera store said Saturday. Yeah, I know a lot of us here, the video is kind of wasted, right, on the camera. For me, it was one of the reasons I bought it, though, because I do videography professionally. And I use the word professionally very loosely because I'm not very good at it. But it it makes a difference. It makes a difference. I rely heavily on the gear when it comes to video. With photography, see, the difference is with photography, there's a lot of workarounds, even when you have a very basic camera, right? You could have an EM10 Mark II, you could have a TG5 or something, an old uh, XZ2 or so, you could have a very, very basic camera, but you can still get amazing image quality out of it uh, for stills. Not I'm not talking sports action. Obviously, there's been improvements there, but there's a lot of workarounds to get excellent image quality out of a very basic camera. But in video, there's not too many workarounds, unfortunately. You have to have the capability in the camera hardware to do video and do a good job and be competitive if you're going to be getting paid to do it. Uh, So I have to rely pretty heavily on the video side, on the gear being very, very, bleeding edge, whatever. It has to be good. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I don't know what uh I don't know why. Some people are having a lot of problems with it though. But I there's very hard for me to diagnose it when I can't duplicate it myself, right? So I wish I could be more helpful with that. I talked a little bit about in the beginning where mine stopped working, and I assumed it was because I did a bunch of driver updates and Windows updates and things. So I had to uninstall it completely, then reinstall it, and then it's been working fine ever since. But yeah, there's just so many variables to diagnose. I wish I could help you. I can't. Get a Mac. I was thinking about this morning. Those of you that know me, I'm like hardcore anti-Apple. And it's got nothing to do with the quality of their product, right? I'll be the first one to say they have excellent, excellent products, but it's because I had a very bad experience with them very, very, very early on before they had Apple stores and all of this. I'm talking about like 1984, 1985, that time frame when Apple was selling what did they call them? iMacs or something, whatever they called them back then. And, I had a very bad experience in the store with one of the sales reps. And ever since then, I've just put it in my mind, I'm never going to buy Apple. I was forced to buy my first Apple product ever about a year and a half ago. I bought an iPad because uh, one of the services I was using did not have an app for Android. They still don't, as far as I know. But I need that app to do something very specific. And it only works on Apple. And I was like, so I got forced to buy an Apple product. I mean, I almost didn't, but I wanted to. Anyway, uh, but my reason for not wanting to John Mark, he's since 1985. Yeah, I could have been a customer since 1985 if it wasn't for the pompous sales rep over there. And there's still, well, I'm not going to talk bad about Apple, but I did have a bad experience with the sales rep. But I got nothing bad to say about Apple itself because I don't really know them, their products or the company or people that were I don't know anything about them other than I bought one Apple iPad Pro about a year and a half ago. And I only use it to check my email now on that one app that I need. Yeah. Yeah, let it go, let it go. Well, the good thing is I don't have to let it go because there are so many options, competition on the market, right? So I can buy Android tablets and phones and whatever else, Windows, right? I don't have to buy their crap. Not their I Let me rephrase. I don't have to buy their products. Uh so it's okay. I can that it allows me to hold a grudge the fact that I have options. There was some other product some other brand I was thinking about this morning. Um I think it was because of Robin's video that I started thinking about OM Systems and Panasonic and Nikon. And, I was thinking about all the different camera brands for some reason. And If I had an experience like that, I would based on my history with Apple, I think I would have went a little further than Robin and just banned, like, just got rid of all my Olympus and OM system gear. That would be it for me if I was treated like that. I don't know. I don't know. I probably wouldn't at this point. I'm much older now. Uh, but that's why when you brought up the thing about switch to Mac, I was thinking about Robin's video this morning, and I was thinking, God, what would I do? I don't know. I would, if I ever got treated like that, I would probably more than quit. I would just ban, yeah, I would ban the product brand out of my entire life. That would be it. I don't care if they come out with the best camera ever. I'd probably ban it for life. I mean, if I were younger, now that I'm a little older, and a little more pragmatic, right? That probably wouldn't happen, but it did occur to me this morning, a younger version of myself, if I got treated that way by a company, I'd have probably, yeah, they'd be on my blacklist. That would be it forever. Just like Apple is. I'll never buy a Mac or an iPhone or iPad or whatever. I mean, I bought an iPad because I had to. Ugh, and I still, if they ever come out with an app that I need on Android, that thing is gone. I have an Apple TV, but that's because that was my dad's and he passed away, so I kind of inherited it. And I have an Apple iPod from like the early 90s, whenever that came out, late 90s. That was a gift. Anyway, that's enough about Apple. You're curious to see the angry triggered Rob? I'll go on a mild rant sometimes on the live streams here. Uh, but I try to bite my lip whenever I start to go a little bit negative because being negative doesn't help anybody. It's fun to watch maybe, but it doesn't help anybody watching and it doesn't help the brand or brands that I might be talking about. So I tried not to be negative. Irony would be probably the irony would be probably the guy that upset you upset others now and working. Yeah, hey Arthur, how you doing? Great photos on Arthur's Instagram. If you like black and white photography, Arthur is the master. Um, I don't find the PenF buffer slow. Who was asking that? I scrolled right by it. But I don't find it any slower than any other camera. I mean, let me rephrase that, of its ilk. Uh, but the good thing is that the PenF will use a UHS-2 card. So if you get a UHS-2 card, that'll help with the buffering. Narrowband is a Mac guy. Yep, that's true. What else? I got something else that's Mac. No, yeah, I'm thinking of my Apple TV, but that's not. Oh, Randy's in the house. How you doing, Randy? Yeah, so yeah, the only solution is UHS-2 card. Spend like $100 and get a fast one. Almost like getting a new camera though, when you got a really fast SD card in. Yeah, the other thing that crossed my mind that maybe why OM Systems kind of ghosted Robin was, the market on that side, Malaysia is not as strong as other markets, but it just doesn't make any sense because, like I said, companies usually look at the metrics, right? And Robin has a strong channel and strong content and a strong following on his blog and Instagram. So he has he has a pretty strong presence. I mean, as a quote unquote influencer. Uh, so I don't understand why they ghosted him like that. I just don't get it. I swear some. Oh yeah, I gotta watch my mouth. I try to be very conscious when I'm online, but I'm a total sailor mouth when I'm like out. Did I see Jimmy's video? I did. I did see Jimmy's video this morning, just before I came online, actually on the stream. And I talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's a little bit too hard to tell on YouTube the differences. You just have to take his word for it that there's an improvement, and the fact that he talked about that the AI noise reduction is in the JPEGs on the OM1. I'm going to try and verify that. I mean, I'm not. I believe him, but I I have to see because it takes 10 seconds roughly for the AI noise reduction to process on my PC. Now I get it, a dedicated, CPU or the camera can probably do it in a quick second, you know? So I'd have to see I'd have to see it because, the buffer's not going to clear as fast if it's processing AI. There's a lot of things that AI would slow the camera down that would be noticeable. And I have to see. That was the most interesting thing I got out of it was that he said that AI noise reduction is in the JPEGs on the OM1. But I'll know maybe this weekend when I get mine. Oh, Marco's here. You're late. Yep. What? You got your OM1? I'm so jealous. Oh my God. That's awesome. I have a link down below if you want to come in and show everybody. I have the guest links down. I know, Robin, you should come in. I got my guest link down if you want to join in. It's in the description. Charging now. Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? Is oh, it doesn't come with like its own battery charger. That's a bummer. But I watched some of the Olympus streams and people were saying that I forget the guy's name, but one of the Olympus tech guys or OM system tech guys said it took him about 2 hours to charge a battery from dead. So what he did is he ran a 4K video to drain the battery down until it would stop recording, and then he put the battery in and charged it, and he said it took about 2 hours. So what that's telling me is if it's let's say it's a 2000 milliamp battery, give or take, maybe it's a 2300, I forget what the exact milliamps is, but it's charging through the USB port at about 1 amp, right? So that's pretty solid. I mean, it's still a couple of hours. But my question is can you get up to about 80% in 30 minutes? Because the way charging works is you can charge a battery pretty quickly when it's drained. The first initial 80% or so gets charged pretty quickly, but as you start to top off, you go from about 1 amp of charging down to about 500 milliamps, down to 200 milliamps, down to like 100 milliamps. I mean, the rate of charging drops significantly once you get over an 80% charge. So that's why that last, you know, 10 or 20% of charging a battery takes the longest. And, there's a lot of reasons for it in the chemistry, I guess, because it can get too hot when it's already kind of charged up and all of that stuff. Uh, so it's a way to manage the heat and the length and the life of the battery. So that's why if I buy an external charger, if I use a USB external charger, I'd rather charge a battery at 500 milliamps and take 4 hours, 5 hours to charge it, rather than charging it in camera rapidly. Uh, so, because your battery will last longer if you charge it slowly. Yeah, the PD compatibility is what's driving the 1 amp charge. And I'm just guessing, right? I don't know for a fact. But based on the milliamps of the battery and how long it takes to charge it from almost dead, if it's taking 2 hours, it's charging at about 1 amp per hour. Uh, but a regular non-PD charger is going to drop down to 500 milliamps. So a regular charger probably take 4 hours to charge that battery, I would think. Yeah, heat kills the batteries, definitely. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm like, why is there no charger? I mean, think about it. If they included it with the camera, how much would have it added to the list price? If they wanted to keep the same profit, how much would have it added? 50 bucks, maybe? I would have paid an extra 50 bucks if I had the option to include the charger or not. But apparently, I guess it was in the last stream, people were saying there was some push to not include chargers with the camera because of some environmental reason. I don't know. I don't remember what that was, so maybe that's the reason. Uh, did anyone notice inside the all-in-one box are not as fancy? I don't know. When I get it, I'll do an open box. I'll do a what do they call it? Open box video, box opening video. What do they call? There's a word for it. Unboxing video. Thank you. I'll do an unboxing video. Is there any fascination about using 50 FPS images and uh putting them is 25 FPS or 20? I'm not sure what you mean. Uh if you're talking about video, I do everything at 30 frames per second if I can. 60 sometimes, but generally I'm at 30 frames per second. You're talking about stills photography. If you're asking if we can shoot at 50 frames per second and then convert it to video at 24, 25 frames per second, I guess you could do that, but the buffer would fill up so quickly. I mean, that you'd only get a couple of seconds of video, maybe 5 seconds. What would be the point of that? I'm just trying to extrapolate what you're trying to ask me. I don't know if that's what you're asking me or not. But hopefully this weekend I'll have the OM1. Man, if Marco has his, oh, maybe I'll call the camera store after the stream and see. They blame the EU for not including the charger. Maybe, yeah. Randy says, please no unboxing vid. Oh man. I'll think about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll unbox it in a stream. But I'm gonna open it before I do the video anyway. Uh yeah, the bean counter. That's what I thought. Oh, the S1, S1R. I have to watch those. Yeah, Kaylin says a bean counter. That's what I think, right? I think a bean counter did it. Like a photographer would say, yeah, include a charger, especially a double charger. My God, if they included a double charger with the camera and charged $100 more, that would have gone a long way. I mean, it's the little things, right? That you buy things for. It's not always the big thing, right? It's the little things sometimes that you buy a product because it just anyway. Oh, I see Peter's here. I'm gonna have to switch screens, maybe. Unless you just want to do audio, Peter. How you doing? I can hear you, but I don't see any video, Peter. The narrowband channel. Oh, they dropped out. Okay. 115. Who's selling it for 115? The price I saw was 150. It says, "Hi Rob, I have an Olympus CM10 Mark II. I was looking to get an external intervalometer and went to B&H. They told me camera didn't support it. Do you know if that's possible?" Yeah. Uh, I mean, the camera has a built-in intervalometer, but you can't do like more than a 60-second shutter speed, right? So I have a video on how to use the intervalometer in camera, but an external intervalometer, let me show you. I have one. Is it? Just had it in my hands yesterday. Seriously, right here. That's what happens when you clean. I cleaned my office a little bit yesterday. I put that thing somewhere. I said, I got to put it somewhere I won't lose it. And now, oh, that is it. No, that's not. Got it. All right. This one. Okay. I'll put a link to it. This is the one you want. Oh, my EM10 Mark II. I'm using an EM10 Mark II right now for this stream. It doesn't focus quite as well as my EM1. Let's see. Come on. Come off. All right. Screw it. Let me just put a link to it. This is the one you want. So a Pixel PW283. Okay. Here's a link. I just put a link. Think it's going to show or not. Oh, there it is. Sorry. It did go. Oh, okay, Peter. You didn't mean to come into the chat. You wanted to go into the chat, not the live stream. That's okay. That's the one you want. It looks. Let me see if I can switch to the screen. This is the one that you want. Uh, and it comes with. Oh shit. Sorry. That's not the one you want. Don't click that link. Let me do this. Olympus. Ignore that link I just gave you. It's no, that is the right link. The UC1 connector. It works with the EM10. E3. Well, comes up differently. One. Yeah. I think I think that's the right one. Okay, let me give you this link. So this is the link you want. Sorry, David. That's the link you want for an external intervalometer. Oh man, 15 minutes to just show you one thing. But I try. I try. Let's see. Yeah, narrowband channel uses the same one I do, and he uses it for astrophotography. And I think yeah, so that was the last question from David. Hopefully that you got that. So this link I just posted is the right one. Uh the other thing I was gonna do. Let me do one more thing. Um called shutter time. This is my video. This is my video on the man, 2018. So I made this almost 4 years ago. Had my guy with a camera log. Uh, but yeah, this is the intervalometer built into the camera. I have this video. It's episode number 93. Full on tutorial on how to use it. But what the best thing about this is what's at the end. I made this. I made this with the intervalometer. That was a cool video. Uh, okay. Oh, you're welcome, David. Anyone know the dynamic range of the old Coda CC? I have no idea. But if anybody knows why, I click right on and it doesn't. That's the one I meant. This. If anybody knows, let Mahi know. I have no idea. Nah. Jeez, thanks, Plato. It was a cool video. I haven't done like a full on tutorial in a while, have I? When I get the OM1, I'll probably do some. But I'm gonna go out and shoot with it first. Like I've had the EM1 Mark III for 2 years. I don't think I've done any full on tutorials for it, like best settings or nothing. Menu walkthroughs. I haven't done any of that stuff for it, but it's my workhorse camera. I don't think of it like as a YouTube camera, but I don't know. That stop motion should be the intro. I need to make a new one. I don't know. Maybe I'll make one today. It's cold out, so I don't want to go out. Maybe I'll make one indoors. Oh, the intro music. Yeah, it doesn't, there's not too many not, I've been trying to minimize the music that I use in my videos, other than the photo walks time to time, but like for my uh tutorials and things, yeah, it's the music can be distracting to when somebody's trying to concentrate on learning something and they can play music on their phone or whatever. They can play music at home while they're watching my videos if they want to. Uh, if they learn better with a little music in the background, some people like it. They can turn on their own music while they're watching my videos. I don't need to put music in my videos for them to try to learn. When I'm doing tutorials and talking head type videos. Uh, so I've been minimizing. Hmm. Yeah, do EM1 Mark III setup videos. I'm only gonna have the M1 Mark III, for a couple of more weeks, and then it's gonna go up for sale. Uh, so like I said, if anybody wants that camera, you need to let me know now, and I'll work something out. But the value is dropping, I think, as we speak, right? Like last month, I probably could have got 1,300 for it. This month, maybe 1,000. I don't know. I'll go on eBay and see what they're selling for. Uh, that camera probably has 20,000 clicks on it because I use it for work. and not a lot of work, right? Only 20,000 clicks, but, uh, it has a 400,000 count shutter life, so it's fine, and I've never dropped it, believe it or not. There's a little scratch on the side where I have the strap, but other than that, it's mint. And I'll include an extra battery, an extra car charger, and the, L bracket for it that I use. I'll include all that stuff. Oh, you saw the video. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright. Wasn't sure. But yeah, the intervalometer is limited to what the camera can do, right? It can't do more than a 60-second exposure, so and whatever other limitations there might be, but that intervalometer works well. I use it mainly for the remote shutter. I'm I don't use the intervalometer portion. I use it for the remote shutter. Yeah, see, David hates background music and training videos. And I did that early on because I was trying to up my production value of my videos, but at the sacrifice of actually making it actually uh at the sacrifice of some people who don't like it, like David, right? So yeah, in a lot of my videos, you don't even see a bumper anymore, right? A bumper is like when you have that 7 or 10 second intro. I used to do that all the time, and I've kind of gotten rid of most of those in my videos. So now I just get in, hey everybody, let's talk about this. That's how my videos go now. The bumpers and the music and a lot of the other sort of production type things. Um, I don't know, to me are just a distraction. I mean, some channels they do that well. Like Jimmy Chang, his intros, his bumper, his endings, because he has a ending trailer too, right, on his videos. I mean, that's his signature, right? And he's developed that over time, and it wouldn't be a Jimmy Chang video without those things in it. But for me, my production value is pretty low to begin with anyway. So, adding bumpers and trailers and music and all of that just is, to me, would be a distraction of my videos more than anything helpful because I just don't have a signature theme or all of that stuff, right? Yes, that's true. Oh, Marco's here. Hold on. Sorry, Marco. I didn't see you come in. Are you ready? Okay.
What's going on, Rob?
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
I don't know how long you were sitting there. I was looking.
I just joined like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. The 2 minutes, man. That's forever. When you're, but let's see it.
There it is.
Oh, let me see if I can get you full screen. Hold on.
I'm going to take the 12 to 40 off. There she is.
Okay. I don't know why it's not. There it is.
There you go.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Wow, that was very generous. Look at that.
There she is.
How did you get that so early? Did you?
I pre-ordered from a local camera store, and it's
Yeah.
only like 15 minutes from my house, so they got them in on Tuesday, and they called to say I can pick it up today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they had to put it into stock before you could pick it up, I guess.
Yeah, I think actually they had a limitation as to when they could release it. It was guidance from OM Systems, I think.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
tell you, it's only got, so I walked in when I commented on the video, plugged it into the charger, and it's got 24% charge on it right now. So it
Okay.
seems to charge pretty quickly, I think. But and the initial reaction, just turning it on and registering it, you will clearly notice how much better the screen is as soon as you get it, and the EVF is awesome. It's so much better than what's on the 1X or the 3.
I bet. Wow.
Yeah, it feels very much like the EM13 though. The dial on the top, these are they're different too, in terms of their texture and their feel, but feels very, very solid.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. I'm excited to play today.
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
What didn't you have one come in this week already?
Well, when I went on their website, they said that they expect it on March 5th.
Okay.
I haven't
Do you
actually
want to
called
see
them.
do you want to see the stuff that was in the box or save it for your unboxing?
No, no, just unbox it now. What the
So
heck?
I pulled everything out. So it came with, I'm assuming this is the flash. Yeah, you have the what is that, the
Oh, that's
LM3
right.
flash. Yep. And it doesn't, you have the dark black strap, the cable guide slash holder,
Yeah,
a microfiber cloth, just generic cloth. Um,
they gave you a
Registration
cloth.
card. Yeah, it's just a microfiber cloth, a big thick manual with registration information too. And you don't get the separate charger, but it did come with the USB-C charger and the cable. So the battery is obviously in the camera right now. So
Yeah,
you don't get the external charger, but you do get facilities to charge it. You don't have to use your phone charger or anything.
right, right. That's good.
Yep.
So that charger, how many amps is that charger outputting?
Let's see. I'm using something else I had laying around. Let's see if my eyes could read this. Holy crap. Output is 3 amps, 5 volts, 3 amps on the 9 volts.
3 amps on 9 volts.
Yeah.
Wow. So
So
I would assume,
power delivery is 2 amps, right? So it should be a fairly quick charger.
yeah, yeah. So I would think they have the 3 amps, so it'll run the camera and charge at the same time, maybe.
Yep.
Wow.
Actually, that's what was, as soon as I plugged in it, battery was completely dead when I stuck the battery in it and tried
Hmm.
to turn it on out of the box. It wouldn't turn on at all. But as soon as you plugged in the charger, you could use it.
Okay. Now what I heard was that apparently somebody told me this was in the manual. But let's say you have the camera on, and then you plug the charger in. The camera, like if you're recording video, maybe you can test
Okay.
this.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah, record video, because this is the only question I didn't get answered.
Okay.
Like start recording a video, and then while the video is recording, plug in the charger and see what happens.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I don't
Because
know. My charger's not long enough to actually do it on the video, but let's
no,
see.
that's okay. You can
So,
just tell us.
all right. So I am recording at 4K 60 and I plugged in the charger. It keeps going. It does not shut off. It went right
Okay,
to charging. The USB came on the
so you
screen.
started charging before you plugged the charger in, right? I'm sorry, you
No,
started recording.
right. So I'm recording now. You can see it's
Okay.
got the red recording box. I will plug in the charger. Let's see. You'll see it doesn't, it just literally says charging. It does not shut off the video. Still recording.
So it is charging now.
It is charging. Yep. It shows it right in the corner.
Oh, that's awesome. See, the
Yep.
other thing would be, this is probably something Ben might be interested in, is if you do intervalometer function. You don't have to do that now, but I assume it
Mhm.
would work. If you're in the middle of an intervalometer series and you notice your battery's low, you can plug the charger in.
I would think so. If it can do it for 4K 60 video, it should be able to do it for that.
Yeah, because in the manual it says you can't do that, is
Well,
what somebody told
let's
me.
let's test it.
What?
Let me see.
You know, the not the PDF manual, I don't know what the hard copy has in it. The hard copy has
Okay.
like 3 pages and then 50 languages,
All right. Do
usually.
you oh, you know what else is really really cool? The if you, anyone that was nervous about the menus, don't be nervous. I literally went through, I follow Robin's his like quick start guide for quick settings to shut off the, keep warm, warm balance. I basically follow the same settings as Robin does, and it's
Yeah.
just intuitively was exactly the same. You're just scrolling left to right instead of up and down. It was
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah, it's on the
Um,
top instead of the side now.
I never used the intervalometer. Where am I going to test that out? Am I going to menu 2? Yeah. Let's see. Multiple exposure. Nope. Well, I'm not going to figure this out live and waste everybody's time, but I
Yeah,
will test it.
don't worry about that. I assume that's going to work though.
Shooting. Yeah. Oh, I'm in movie. That's why it's not working. There we go. Okay. How many number of frames? 100. We'll do this. Okay. On. I can try it right now, I think.
Okay, just set up like a 2-second shutter or something. I don't know.
I have it set at 1 second. Let's see. Get the charger going. Okay. All right. Can you hear it? It's going.
Yeah.
It did not interrupt it. It's charging now. It's still going.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah. Cool. Sweet.
That's cool. So it's just like our phones, right? You can be using your phone, then plug your charger in, and it keeps going.
It seems like it.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I'm excited.
That is cool. Man. And did you get any lenses with it? New lenses, or are you just using what you got?
No, I have almost everything that you could possibly want anyway. I was toying with the idea of trading the original 12-40 for the new one, but there's really no reason for me to do it.
Yeah, yeah. How about your, what do you have now? An EM1 Mark III or a Mark II?
I have every single OMD that's current. So a 10.4, a 5.3, a 1.3, and 2 EM1Xs. I am going to sell one of the EM1Xs though.
Yeah, you got to sell something, man. That's
yeah. The EM1X has to, one of the EM1Xs has to go.
All right. So contact Marco if you guys want.
I will.
EM1X.
It's mint. If you want to mint EM1X, shoot me an email. Just Google my name. You could find me anywhere.
Yep, yep. And you know, you can always go to Hot Hardware and you have an email contact there too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wow. Well, I appreciate that, Marco. That camera looks
No sweat.
Let me call my camera store.
Very cool. You're gonna call right now live? I love it.
Yeah, and that's why people come to my live stream, right? Let's see.
Is there a text from your mother offering up some soup today?
No, I text her. I text her before I start the streams now and tell her I'm busy for a couple hours.
I'm just playing with you. Cool.
I should have them on speed dial, but let's see. This district. Nope. So I have to go to Google Maps and put it in. District.
Cool.
Go. Oh, they got an easy number. 703-250-5555.
You know, I think the finish is slightly different. I have a skin on my 1.3, so I can't do a direct side by side, but it does seem like a little bit different texture in the
hi, this is Rob.
in the coating.
Hey Marco, hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Rob. I pre-ordered the Olympus OM1 and I saw on the website it's like March 5th. Is it coming any sooner by any chance? Is it there now? Okay.
Continue to hold.
You know, a lot of times when you're on hold, they can still hear you talking. So just so you know, if you're talking while you're on hold, they're going to hear it potentially.
Right. Yeah, and David Crooks, yes, I'm opening the strap now. Let's see. So,
If anybody can name this song. Hello?
Yeah. It looks like the same as the ends are the same as all the other Olympus
straps. Yes. Right, right. So you guys gonna just email us or? When I pre-ordered, I don't know if I pre-ordered from the Burke score or the Arlington one, or maybe it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I forget your name. You're the guy that does the film stuff too, right? Alan, okay. Thanks. I recognize your voice. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll just come by and pick it up because I had originally for you to deliver it to me, but I'll be in Virginia Saturday. But if you get it tomorrow, that would be awesome. Okay, and then also I have like a store credit there. We can apply that to the credit card too, I assume, but maybe I might save that for a lens or something. But all right, hey, thanks, Alan. We'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. Okay, so tomorrow or Saturday. That's what they're saying.
Gotcha.
Um,
David's asking if it's the same flash that came with the 1.2. I think it is. Let me just see if there's any different labeling on it.
yeah, it's got to be the FLLM3, right?
Yeah, just it's wrapped up and I can't read it.
Yeah, that's the only one they have that works with the OMDs right now.
Yeah, it's the same model, FLLM3. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good little flash, but I usually sell mine on eBay. They sell for
like an idiot, I was at the store and I thought I saw the Godox 863, and I grabbed one thinking, oh great, I have the same battery as the V1, and it was a 2. It was an 862, so I got to go return that.
Oh. So
I was excited.
So hold on, let me put you back to full screen. Let me see the box
Okay.
itself. Is it the same like quality as old Olympus boxes?
So this one's not open. This is a second one that my buddy bought. Also, he's coming to pick
Oh,
it up.
okay.
But it looks basically, if my light is causing glare, hold on. It looks exactly the same.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, it's the same quality, same like beefiness. It looks the
Okay.
same.
And then somebody wants to know what it smells like.
It smells like money I shouldn't have spent.
So true. So
Yeah.
true. I mean, nobody needs a new camera, but we're just gearheads, we gotta have it.
It's funny. I have to produce a video for work today, and it's like perfect timing. So I'm going to shoot in 4K 60 and see how it works.
Oh yeah, that's right. Are you
Mhm.
did you ever finish that review on a G something? You said it
The
was
G15. Yeah, so I finished the written review. I don't want to bring everybody down, but I had a horrible February with the death in the family, and I was hospitalized
oh,
for a bit, so I didn't do the video review. That's the
yeah.
video review I'm going to shoot today. So this
Okay.
is the new version of your notebook with Ryzen 6000 and a newer GPU. So I got to shoot this on video today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss this month, but
Thank
yeah,
you.
let's not.
February beat me up pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, some things happen. Yeah, like I talked about earlier in the stream, I don't know if you were here, but I was like, just sometimes bad things happen to good people and things happen in life that you can't control.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it's not what happens to you, it's how you react, right? So, uh,
Exactly.
but but anyway, the G15, um,
Mhm. No, it's still called the Zephyrus G14. It's just the newer one for 2022.
oh, okay, so it's the G14.
Yeah.
Is it worth the upgrade from my current one?
Um, no, I would say no. So when you got yours, that was like a real value leader considering its performance and all the features it had.
Yeah.
The price on this guy for a high-end config, it's much more. It was 24.99. So it's still very nice and it's worthwhile if you want a small, fast machine. Really beautiful display. So 2560 by 1600, 120
Hmm.
hertz display, 500 nits, really nice. But it's not the value leader that it was. It's still very nice, but it's not the you know
Right.
not as
Yeah, I
good a buy
paid
as the one you got.
yeah, I paid 12.50 for mine
Mhm.
because
So,
it was one of those Best Buy like open box.
oh, you got an open
And
box deal too. Cool.
yeah, and 16 gig plus a terabyte SSD and a 4900 HS and a
This one is
2060.
this is the funky version. Let me see if I can do this live. Hold on.
Does
I
it
don't
still
know if
got the LEDs on the
that's what I
lid?
was just so that's what this one does have, the LEDs in the lid. I'm not sure it's going to show up. I'm turning it on now. But I
Yeah.
totally would not buy the one with the LEDs in the lid. Not only is it more expensive, it's a millimeter thicker and it kills the battery more. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there it goes. You see it kind of doing its
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, there we go. I don't know. I'd get it if I could afford it.
Nah, there's no point unless you want to, have an animation running on there because you can customize it.
Yeah, it's just cool. Kids would like it, I guess.
Yep.
But I mean, do you think it's a good laptop? So let's tie it back or segue back into photography. Is it a good laptop for photo editing and video editing?
Yes, for sure, because it's got the latest Ryzen 6000 with so the integrated graphics on the Ryzen 6000 is like by far the best of anything I've tested, but it also has a high-end, Radeon GPU in there with 16 either 8 or 16 gigs just for the GPU. So, and the screen is fantastic. So if you like a high DPI display and you want a, high performance processor and a high performance GPU, it's got everything.
Okay, has it got an regular size SD card?
I don't think it has a card reader built. No, it's micro SD,
Micro?
micro SD on
Okay.
the side. Yeah, but there's plenty of ports. So two USB, full size USB, and a USB C on the right, and another USB C on the left. So
Okay. Is the USB-C Thunderbolt yet, or is it still 10 gigabit?
not on AMD. Is this Thunderbolt? No, no Thunderbolt on AMD. That's an Intel and Apple thing.
Yeah, but I heard they were going to release it for AMD, like license it for them.
This is like the first Ryzen 6000, so I don't think it happened. I might be wrong, but no, they're just labeled Super Speed and DisplayPort. So I'm
Yeah.
99% sure it's not Thunderbolt.
Yeah, if it doesn't have the Thunderbolt icon,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yep.
Um, that's too bad because AMD really needs it. Because I'm,
Yeah, I don't know. I do everything off network attached storage. It's not quite as fast, obviously, as Thunderbolt, but it's just so much easier to have like every machine can access it just over the network.
yeah, because my challenge is I want to connect two external monitors to my G14. So I use
Mhm.
one is the USB-C port, and then one is the HDMI port, so I'm good. But I'm losing a USB-C port.
Grab a dock. Just do it all from a dock. You know.
Well, the problem is that I haven't seen a dock that has USB-C where you can share USB-C, right? Unless it's Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt has the bandwidth to support multiple
Oh, that's true.
USB-C.
Yeah, you'd have to have one that has the active chip in it. Um,
Yeah, so that's the
I'll
problem. I
poke around.
lose a
There's got to be
US.
something out there.
You would think, but I
Mhm.
I haven't found a solution that has where I have a pass-through USB-C or something. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
what I have to do now is I got these I don't know if anybody's even interested in what we're talking about, but I got these magnetic USB-C um things so I can just magnetically detach the cable and put it back on. I'm not wearing the port out, right?
Right. Yep.
Uh I just dropped I keep all my SD cards in this bucket. This used to be like duck sauce or something.
Perfect.
But that's cool. And then, okay, so the box, the camera. EVF. What else is there? I don't know. Anybody else have any questions about it? I don't know if I missed any other than a smell test. The flash, the charger. Because I think it's been covered so much online, everybody kind of knows what they need to know at this point.
Yeah.
Uh,
One other quick, quick impression. If you use the front dial a lot, I
mhm.
have a feeling some people are not going to like how recessed it is. I mean, you're never going to accidentally
Mm.
turn it, so not having it on the shutter is probably a plus for some people. But it's in there. You got to kind of press a little bit to rotate that front dial.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We'll see. Anything?
There's a question there for you about the Surface Pro 8 for photo editing.
Um, it would be fine for photo editing, but no discrete GPU. So if you don't need that for just straight up photo editing, not doing anything nuts. But if you want to do anything that's AI accelerated, or any sort of video work where a GPU would help, the Surface Pro 8 is going to trail behind a typical clamshell notebook with a discrete GPU in it.
Okay.
You're also
Now it's
power constrained in that really thin form factor. So if you
yeah,
have the room in your bag for something a little thicker, you'll get much more performance.
right, right. Now that's another question I had. I see these like 12th gen Intel chips. Are they up to AMD now? Have they caught up in terms of
Yeah,
processing power?
they're better, than, in my opinion, than AMD in terms of processing power. The 12th gen, so 12th gen is really funky. It's the first hybrid CPU from Intel. So it's a mix of high performance cores and then low power efficiency cores. The high
Mm-hmm.
performance cores are very good. So in terms of real short, bursty workloads, browsing the web, loading apps, stuff like that, they're by far the best. They've actually exceeded the Apple M1 in that regard in terms of latency and that short, bursty performance.
Mm-hmm.
Power is higher though, so like you won't get the battery life out of a 12th gen notebook unless it's got a huge battery that you would out of a similar machine with a similar size battery with an AMD processor. But if absolute performance is your concern, a 12th gen processor with like an NVIDIA GPU is kind of the pinnacle right now.
Really? So they've
Mhm.
they've now surpassed a little bit, even because I have a 4000 series, right? A 4900
Mhm.
AMD chip, and they went to 5000. You're saying they're up to 6000 series now.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find something
And
quick.
the Intel 12th gen a is now caught up or surpassed. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, and not only does it win in single threaded, right, because of those performance cores, there's so many cores on them now. You can have up to 24 threads, in a typical 15-inch, 16-inch notebook. So even in multi-threaded, they win as well. It's just battery life. The
Yeah.
mainstream 12th gens are not out. The only ones that are out are the really powerful high-end ones,
Mm-hmm.
and battery life's not quite as good. But when the performance series, when the P series comes out, I'm not sure how that's going to stack up just yet. I I
Mm.
I tested. Well, my partner tested a really insane 12th gen notebook from Alienware. Am I able to share through here? Can I do
A
this? Let's
screen,
see.
yeah.
So if I
Yeah,
go
there's a
here,
share screen option. I just have to get out of the way, I think.
let's see if this works. So this, are you guys seeing a screen right now?
Yeah, 1 second. I have to
Okay.
put it in.
So this Alienware notebook, it's a high-end gaming rig, but this machine is 12th gen with dual PCIe Gen 4 SSDs. Look at the throughput on the SSDs, 13 and a half gigs a second reads, 9.7 gigs a second writes. It's like twice as fast as anything else I've ever tested. It's pretty crazy.
And that's because of what?
It's got two PCI Express 4 NVMe SSDs in RAID working together.
And that's on the G14 or 15?
No, this is on an Alienware X17, the
Oh, I'm
newest
sorry. Okay.
Alienware. I just wanted to show you like what you can do with 12th gen.
Oh, that's because of the 12th gen,
Yeah,
mostly.
12th gen's got PCI Express 4,
Ah,
and all the latest IO.
right. Because, I mean, relatively speaking, I'm getting about 1.5 gigabits or something on my
Yeah,
current SSD.
this is just insane now because it's Gen 4 and then it's two of them.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
let me.
Okay.
So if
Um,
I'm going to hit end my screen share, I think that'll fix it. There we go.
yeah, because there was a couple of years there where everybody was like, get AMD, right?
AMD is still fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
If you run benchmarks, you can see the difference. If you're using them, they're both very, very good.
Yeah. Um, and then there's a question here about movie profiles. I guess it depends. For the OM1, it shoots H.264 and H.265. I
Hmm.
believe when you're using the H.265, you only have OM log or flat available. The
Yeah.
H.264, you can do any of the art filter profiles, like most of them. So you have a pretty good selection, but it has an OM log profile, which is what most people would be interested in if they're doing any kind of more serious video work. Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
I was setting it up for H.265 4K 60, and it actually warns you you'll need a powerful PC to edit these files. So I haven't
yeah,
obviously I haven't pulled anything off it yet. I just got it, but yeah.
right, right. So is the OM1 today's free prize together with that
Um,
computer?
sure. You got it. Send me your address.
Uh, is there any laptop recommendation for just transfer of raw hard disks? I can't read. It's too small for my eyes.
Raw hard disk in the field with minimum photo editing. So you're just saying you just want a basic notebook just to pull photos off your camera. You can really get by with anything. I'd grab depending on how big you want the machine to be. Lenovo has like some really nice not idea pads. Let me remember the brand. I'm forgetting the brand, but Lenovo has some nice 14-inch Ryzen-based machines that are affordable with plenty of ports. And Lenovo makes some of the best keyboards. They're nice and rugged and reliable. So you could spend well under 1,000, under 800 really, and still get something decent if you just want to pull stuff off your camera in the field.
Okay. What about those portable hard drives that have SD card slots in them? Have you seen those?
I've only used an older Western Digital Passport Wi-Fi model.
Mm,
I couldn't really make a good recommendation off the top of my head.
yeah. Okay. Then it didn't take off because there'd be like 1,000 different kinds of them now.
Hmm.
Because that's been a while since that's been out.
Right.
Uh, and then PCI Gen 4 is also on AMD.
Yes and no. PCIe Gen 4 is available on desktop AMD processors, and they technically added it to the 6000 series, the latest ones on the mobile. This particular Asus machine is supposed to have Gen 4 SSD in it, but when I tested it, it was only getting Gen 3 speeds. So I'm not sure what's going on with that there.
Mm. And 12th Gen has PCI 5.
On the desktop, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
The last time I put a computer together, PCI 2.0 was kind of the state of the art.
Mhm.
And they said they'll never need more than that.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah. Uh, now what's this? You can get an iPad mini 6, USB-C SSD, USB-C SD reader, and you are set with Lightroom Mobile and Apple Pen. Does that make sense?
I'm in the same boat as you where I despise Apple and I won't support that company. So you can do that. I would never do that.
Okay.
I also don't like the tablet workflow. So someone had asked about the Surface Pro earlier too. So, before COVID, I used to do a lot of traveling for work, and I tried to get by with the tablet, and also try to Surface, but they're so not lappable. Like you can't put it on your lap. It's all floppy and it's not balanced. So for my workflow, a typical clamshell notebook is the better way to go. But that's going to depend on your use case. If you're always going to be on a table and you don't mind that tablet workflow, it's fine. But out in the field, it's just so clumsy to use that stuff. I just prefer a standard notebook form factor.
Yeah. Me too. I like the the keyboard touchpad.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I've always been, let's see, I'm just trying to find some other things here.
I have
You
to
guys are
roll, and
driving.
I have a call in 4 minutes, so if
Oh, okay.
anything else pops up.
All right. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay, cool.
ThinkPad. Is that
He
a
was Adam was mentioning the brand ThinkPad. This particular line is not a ThinkPad. ThinkPads are the next step up from this, but I think it's an Idea Pads. I don't remember the middle brand in Lenovo's lineup, but they're really nice, semi-affordable machines. Not quite the premium build, so you're paying the top end, but you get all the same hardware inside, so they're worthwhile.
Okay. I remember when I was shopping for my Asus G14, I was looking at like the Legion 7s
Mhm.
from Lenovo. Because I liked how they had the ports on the back instead of on the sides.
See, I don't like that because you gotta if you're sitting at your desk and you gotta plug in a drive, you gotta get up and look and reach around it. To each his own, I guess.
Oh, well, my G14 is a desktop, basically. I never
Oh,
take
so
it
it
with me.
stays there. Gotcha.
Yeah. Um, and it's see, let me switch back. Well, anyway.
Rob's command center.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have the kit lens power zoom on here. But there's my G14.
Nice.
And then next to it is like my stack of hard drives, right? And they're all numbered. That's number 3. It's hard to see, but I got them numbered.
Now, do you take those in the field, or are they numbered for clients, or
No,
is
they
it
just
just
sit there. Yeah, they
okay?
sit there. Uh, anyhow,
All right, Rob. I'm gonna
yep.
say I'm gonna
Okay,
say goodbye to you.
Marco.
Sorry, guys. Hopefully,
Thanks
you
for
get your
dropping
camera
in.
soon.
Appreciate it.
See you soon. Thanks a bunch.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, it's 12:30. Another long stream. Sorry, guys. I will. That was cool that Marco could drop in and show us his new OM1. I'm kind of jealous. They're gonna call me though from the camera store as soon as they get it in. So as soon as I get it in, maybe I'll just stream it live and do an unboxing live, and then take questions. Who knows? We'll see how that goes. But maybe I should call it here if there's no other questions. I appreciate you guys coming in. It was great seeing everybody again, and thank you again, Adam, for the super chat. That helps me a lot. Uh, and everyone else, I do get donations to my PayPal time to time, which is the link right here. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting me through that link as well. And I will try and live up to doing more tutorials and things when I get the OM1. And we'll do some comparisons, but what I might do is put a community post up and see what questions you might guys have, so that when I get the camera in, I can try and address them in a live stream. But okay, you guys have a great weekend. I will be back on Sunday with a new special guest, and so look forward to that. And next week, hopefully, I'll have my new camera too. So thanks for dropping in today, and we'll see you guys again soon.